All righty. We're talking about discrimination in the car lending process. It is horrible when you car buying process, when getting a loan, when you see the research that I'm going to share with you, because anybody can say anything. But when I see the numbers, I've seen the research, I have the research, and here it goes. I'm going to share it on my screen. It is crazy. I like one of their graphics that they have. Now, this is, I hope you can see what I see. This is a report that was done, discrimination when buying a car. Just came out this month, January 2018. So don't try to say this is the past and this and that. No, how the color of your skin can affect your car shopping experience. Now, if you have any experiences that you can share with me, please put them in the comment box, because I personally have been through this. And I think on one of my podcasts, I talked about going into a car dealership and they didn't even run my numbers. They didn't even run the numbers. I call back and then the lady says, oh, I'm so sorry. They never even processed your application. And I came in there, I was nice as I could be, picked out the vehicle, didn't even argue with them. I was in my 20s and, that I filled out the application, gave them all my information, and the guy thought that I was kidding, that I had just made it up, that it was just too easy a process. I can't believe that. But this research shows, now that was in the 90s. So this research shows that it is still going on. Now, it says, this research says that you're talking about, and it was done by the National Fair Housing Alliance, that has done a lot of work in making sure that these things don't happen in purchasing a home and getting a mortgage loan. So I guess they were curious and they said, let's see what's going on with the car buying process, because they actually put people through like the home purchasing process, the lending process. They put people through it. So they did that to see how people of different colors are treated. And they've really done a good job in regulating and in reducing the discrimination in the home purchasing process. But as far as, this car purchasing process, I guess they had heard complaints, but they didn't believe it till they saw it. We're talking about Black people purchasing cars with better credit, non-white, they call them non-white people versus white people. With the non-white with better credit and more income, still getting a higher interest rate in the purchase and paying more for the purchase of the vehicle. And they sent people actually to the dealership looking at the exact same vehicles, the exact same situations, except they made sure that the non-white person was making more money and had a higher credit score, just so that those things will not be factored into the consideration. Because a lot of times they say, well, no, you're not discriminated against. It's just that, Black people have, or non-white people have, worse credit scores. So they said, well, let's just see if that is true. And the study found out that given better credit and higher income and better debt to income ratios, then they still were denied. Now, not denied, but were offered worse circumstances and worse service. So let me show you the situations that are going down. Now, this study, you can look at the PDF yourself, because in summarizing, a lot of times you miss some things, and I don't want to do you any disservice. So Google discrimination when buying a car by the NFHA, which was brought to my attention by an Afro-economics member in Las Vegas, the home of Mobile Dental Labs, a franchise started by a Black entrepreneur who is a member of Afroeconomics, constantly on the research tip. Seriously, an example of what we have to do as entrepreneurs, as Black professionals, and that we always have to stay on top of our game. We always have to be reading all the time. And that's what he's doing, always constantly, just reading and finding out information like this and allowing me to share it with you. And the brother forwarded, see, that's why the membership of Afroeconomics is so powerful, because when we're united in a particular cause or movement of bridging the wealth gap for the world, in the world, there should not be a wealth gap. And there is a huge wealth gap. And Afroeconomics is we are reducing that wealth gap by increasing wealth within the Black community. And when these things are happening to us, and we're being discriminated against, when you have higher income and better credit score and your payment is higher, it is reducing your ability to save as much as you can into your investments, your work retirement plan. Discrimination reduces wealth. And we know that. We know that discrimination with wages has hurt wealth within our community, but discrimination with our ability to borrow, to purchase things that we need in order to get to work or operate your business, will harm you, because you're paying more for the same thing, unnecessarily. And in this study, you will see a story where it talks about how cold a financial officer was to the non-white person purchasing the vehicle. I mean, they were blatantly, the person had great income, great credit, and they were just trying to gather information. And the person who was assisting them with the loan said, and it's quoted in here, he says, well, since you're so vague and you won't really make a decision on the vehicle, I'm not really going to give you any information on interest rates. And I remember one time I went into a dealership and I was looking at a lease, and the lease, they don't say interest rate. They say, they have another term for money factor, I think they call it. And so instead of giving you the interest rate, they give you this money factor, which is even more misleading because you don't know what your money factor is relative to interest. So I asked them, what's the money factor of this? What's the interest that this money factor is equal to? And, they said, oh, and this is years back, I call a client that, actually worked at a car dealership, but a different one. And I wanted this particular vehicle that they did not sell. So I said, hey, can you tell me, or they told me what the interest rate was to that money factor at the dealership. So I called my friend and I said, my client, and I said, if the money factor is this, what is that equivalent interest rate to the closest as you can be? And it was like a 2 to 3% difference. They had totally lied to me. So I go back, and this was a BMW dealership in Virginia. So I go back and never have ever bought a BMW because of that experience. And I go back and I explain to him again, that I found out from a client that's a manager at another dealership, that what they told me was a lie. They get all upset and, oh, we're so sorry, we'll do this for you, this for you. But I could not do the deal. I mean, then they wanted to try to make it right. But that is disgusting. And it's sad to say that so many people don't have anybody to call upon. So let's look at this particular study. I'm going to go farther. And it says here in this graphic that 62.5% of the time that the non-white tester was better qualified, but yet they received more costly pricing options than their white counterparts. That's over 60% of the time. And it says non-white testers, that's Black people included, who were subject to discrimination, would have paid $2,600 more over the life of their loan as compared to less qualified white testers. And then this graphic here is 75%. I think that would be interesting. I should turn my pointer on. I'm gonna do the mouse. So 75% of the time, white testers were offered more financing options than non-white testers. So white testers were offered more financing options. So we're not even offered options. I'm gonna move that down so then you have to go back to the mouse. Look, I love that little pointer though. Look, then I gotta get it off. So then let's go down. I love these graphics at the bottom of this. Let me go back. And these are interesting. Go all the way down and it kind of summarizes it. Look at this. So a paired testing. This is the non-white tester. Get my little handy dandy. Look, I don't want that. I'm gonna do, okay. So your non-white tester, red, no. Well, I'm gonna try this. So the non-white tester had a credit score of, that is the black people, had 705 in this example with 45,000 in income. The white tester had 684 credit score. Of course, that's lower than the non-white tester of 705. So 684 making only 34,000. Good income, but it's certainly less than this non-white tester making 45,000. So over here that we find that goodness. Yeah, technology. Come on now. I'm just going to have to show it to you because that thing is going to keep trying to be all Miss High Tech. So over here it says the down payment. They both paid the same down payment. Look at the monthly payment in the blue. There's your non-white people, $258 a month versus $218 a month. That's $40 that you could be saving, but you're paying it extra because of the color of your skin, of what you were exposed to in purchasing this vehicle. And then you have 72-month loan term, 75-month loan term. So they were given an option of a longer term on theirs, which helped with their payment, making it lower. Look at that interest rate. The white tester, 2.9. The non-white tester, 3.99. Total paid over the loan, $21,000 versus $18,000. So the non-white would paid $2,200 more. Wow. Now now this one was this is your 688 credit score, income of 68. Both of these have the same income. And then you see total paid for this vehicle, for the non-white, including black people tester, almost 32,000 versus the white person paid 27,000. $4,000 difference. Jeez Louise. So that was women. Woo! So this, if you see your picture, this is men. This is women. So this is black women, you know what I mean, are getting it hit. This research is showing we get hit even harder. Because you heard that crap that I went through, you know, when a lot of times we're going in there by ourselves like me, you know, doing these things. They're taking you for granted. One time I went in there with a little teeny baby. You know, they really tried to get me that time. It's just sad, sad, sad. Then you have the non-white black, including it's a man, non-white man, 788 credit score, making 79,000. I mean, that's almost an 800 credit score versus a 751 at 70. And this one, wow, this man actually was able to pay over. This is a winner. We finally won. Lower payment, but he had longer terms. But so it's kind of, you know, really catching up here. Oh, look at that. He paid 5.28 with a higher credit score and higher income, still paid a higher interest rate, but over the course of the loan, he did spend less on the vehicle. So that's the one situation where they note that at one time it did work out in the whole study. That's why it's 62% of the time. and not 100% of the time. Then let's go on down. That's them. That's what we just looked at. These are the women again. Yeah, and the non-white tester, the woman, she had $3,000, both the same down payment. Non-white tester paid $295. Look, her credit score, her income is a lot higher. This time it looks like she's winning. Got a slightly lower credit score. Lower interest rate, slightly. But with a 70-point higher credit score, she really shouldn't be celebrating with, that slight difference in the interest rate. Her interest rate should be a lot better. And then she was able to save $2,000 over the life of the loan, which should have been dramatically different. And then, because her income here, is this her? Yeah, her income is higher, everything. Her income is higher, her credit score is dramatically higher. So then the non-white tester here, income 16, this white tester income of only $10,000, credit score of 640. Now, and then I think this is a situation where they were saying her debt to income ratio for this 16,000 was really good, though, even though her income was relatively low. But look at that, 6.9. 6.79. Her interest score, here's her credit score is higher. Her credit score is higher, but her interest rate is over 1 percentage point higher. She's probably going in there with such low self-esteem, low confidence, not feeling confident about herself, thinking that I only make $16,000 a year. But her credit is strong. Her debt ratio is strong. And she's ending up paying, $2,000 more than the white tester for the same car over the course of her loan. So and then this is a non-white tester, 793 credit score. Over here, the white tester, 780, still lower credit score, dramatically lower income. This income is $13,000 for the white tester. The non-white tester is $46,000. Let's see how they do. Oh my goodness. The women she's got a higher payment, higher $220, both for the same 72 months. Whoa, my goodness. In the threes interest rate for both. And she's paying $1,800 more with her credit near perfect. Oh my goodness. And making almost 4 times the income. That's scary. That's straight scary. Look into the study, you can see more. It tells you about the conversations that were going on, that the options that were listed and given to the non-white car buyers, that the options that were given to them were much less. They were less likely to go to bat for the non-white car buyer, to go and say, let me try to get you a lower interest rate. They go into great detail with the study. Definitely download it or email me. I'll be happy to. All of the webinar participants, I will send you the document as an email to everybody that registered for today, for, just as a courtesy to you, for, definitely, because this is interesting. You're going to love it. And then the non-white tester here, 688, 68,000. They got the same income, but the non-white tester has a better credit score. Same income. The payment is higher. Same longer terms. Woo! The interest rate's the same, and her credit score is higher. And the non-white car buyer is paying almost $5,000 more than the white car buyer. Whoa, come on, y'all. So I don't know. I can't even take it no more. So let's go to solutions. So let's talk about when you go, and I'm going to I'll send you that document. Anybody have any questions at this point, definitely put them in the box. Isn't that's just mind-blowing. I'm just so thankful that they brought home the experiences that I have had. because we live such a lonely life, and all we can do is accept it. And we go like, I can't believe that happened to me, or I can't believe that they talk to me that way. It's just amazing. I've told my white friends several times, like, they'll be hanging with me and they'll see stuff that happens to me and they go, I would not believe that if I did not see that for my own eyes. Like, several of my white female friends have never experienced the things that they have literally watched me go through as a business owner and as just a white female out there raising a child. I mean, a Black female raising a child on their own. Like, it's amazing. Like, if we take it to a whole nother level, there's such a movement that talks about, like, when I first started as a stockbroker and the other female stockbrokers were all white, it was because I was the only Black in the ballroom. So we're in there and the white ladies walked up to me and they were like, yeah, we got to talk, we got to make sure that they treat us women right and things like that. And I told them, I said, I've never really thought about that because I'm Black, and I'm always, I've just always thought about the Black. I've never thought about being discriminated on another level as a woman. And they were like, yeah, girl. And they were telling me about what they were going through. And then I, realized, like, going through situations where, other brokers would like walk up to me and think I was a secretary or try to do that just to hurt my feelings, and knowing that I was a broker too, type this for me, and think that it's funny, that it's, that we have to realize as a Black people that it's not okay. And we have to take steps to protect ourselves when we feel the need to go out there and finance things. I feel that we have to move forward in making sure that if we have a major purchase that we want, then we have to start saving for that years ahead before we get that, so that we're not always bogged down with a car payment, with these items that are depreciating constantly, that are pulling away from our ability to invest into, our investments, our work plans, our own individual plans, our, invest in our own businesses, in wealth development, because these car loans are not building wealth unless we're getting the car loan for our business so that and it is a tax deductible expense. So be in a good place. When we go into these dealerships, you got to be smart. You got to be like my members of Afro Economics, before they sign anything for a car loan, they fax me the deal. And they tell them, I got to let my financial advisor look at this. We look at this, we look it through, everything. We got to make sure that it makes sense. But in order to do that, you got to eat, get good rest, go in there in a good mood, and don't allow anybody to push you into anything. And then also make sure that you consider getting your own financing, that you can go into a car purchasing decision already pre-approved. So a lot of realtors make you do that before they'll even start showing you a house. So you can go in there knowing that you're already pre-approved from a bank and a banker that you actually trust and have a relationship with, correct? So you go and get your approval for this amount of car, and then you go and buy the car that you want and shop for price. So if you've been approved for up to $40,000 for a vehicle, you try to get that vehicle price down because that's helping you. That's when you have something to negotiate with. They say 40, you say 38. They say 38.5, 35, 38.5, go somewhere else. You want 38, you got money, you get 38. But you have to go ahead and qualify on your own. My third point is that you have to make sure that you don't just walk into a dealership blind. Like, deal with people that deal with people in your network. Our clients that call me all the time about, who would you talk to about this particular issue? Who would you talk to about that issue? That's what the Afro Economics membership really helps. Someone said, my goodness, That's why I'm still driving my car and don't want to buy a new car. Thanks for the info. Thank you, Cynthia, that you don't have to do that. She said, look, it's time for you to get a new car. You deserve a new car, but you don't have to finance it. So if you think a good car is coming up, you know, then we talk about how to save, how much to save, best places to save, best vehicles to use for the savings. So look for interest rates also. So if you're getting the referrals, third point also, it includes, even if you're using a credit union or bank that you've always banked with and you're financing, you know, how do you know if that interest rate is good? Shop it out. You know what I mean? Go to different websites, interest rate websites, call around a whole bunch of places. But, you know, you got all the interest rate, car loan interest rates. Google that. You're going to get it. Call me, email me, join Afro Economics, join and set up the membership and do a financial plan that includes a car purchase at such and such a date. And then we can plan for that. And then do your own credit report. Find out. See, I know that most of those people that accepted those ridiculous interest rates, but they had good credit, they came out and they said, oh, well, what's a 780 mean? And then the car financial person said, oh, they have no idea. They have great credit. I can get them because they make most of their money on financing the purchase. Car dealerships are basically banks now. You know, they make money on the finance. So they can make an extra 1% off somebody that doesn't know how good their credit is. They are happy skipping up and down. Not to mention their bonuses and their own income is connected to that. So be very careful, and know your credit score. That's my point there. Go in there knowing if your credit is strong, average, below average, whatever. Your credit's bad, you know, you're a victim. You definitely need to be saving because they can tear you up. Come down to how bad do you want it. But if you got strong credit, don't settle. And then keep it simple. Keep it simple. Making sure that you have an organized checklist. You know, let's have a checklist. You go into what is the price, and we can have 3 dealership checklists. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, I think, has probably some checklists for people that aren't members. If you're a member, we make a tailor-made, specialized checklist for you. And we talk about, like, what are the things that are important to you? What add-ons do you want? What do you want to have, for this vehicle? And then so when you shop from this to this to this, I love online shopping, shop online. And then you can compare with the local people. The local people can't beat online. So you tell them I'm buying it offline. But, do what you've got to do. Do your research and keep it simple by being organized. If you go there, like I remember when I was having my child and I was doing that book, it says something like when you're having what to expect when you're expecting. And I would go into the doctor's meeting and I would go through all of the stuff on the checklist. Like, it's okay when this is something that's important to you. Do the checklist, and you know that this is fact. They are getting over on us. Stop letting it happen. 62% of the time, and a lot of it was women. Stop doing it. Stop. Learn. Do your research. Get protected. Find out what questions to ask, and then make sure that you are careful about all the stuff that they want to put together, like disability and warranties and all the extras that they add on to it. Be careful with that. Packaging. Be very careful with that. Look at everything individually. If they say, well, the price is this if you finance it with us, you need to know. Because if you're not going to finance it with them, you need to tell them, I'm not financing it with you, and I'm not going to pay more than this price. And then if they don't, be willing to walk away. We have to stop being emotionally connected to anything. Let it go. And whatever it is, that vehicle that is not the last one and not the best one on the planet. I never bought a car that the next day there wasn't one that I saw that was better than the one I just bought. Stuff is not good. So don't allow stuff to hurt you. And then a final point is to make sure that you become confident with all of the math, like I was talking about the money factor versus the interest rates versus the terms of the loan. Don't go in there talking about a particular payment. I want my payment to be $250. Well, they can get over on you with that $250 because now they can make the loan longer and longer term. So you're paying interest and payments for longer, but you're excited about that $250, and the car, by that time, the warranty may be worn out and that it's not worth anything. It's totally depreciated and you're upside down because you came in there talking about a payment instead of talking about purchase price and interest rates. And then Ms. Rogers says also Consumer Reports sells a great car buying report, and that it includes the MSRP, true price of the particular car. You better believe it. Look at that. Look at that report so that we know. Let's be empowered. That's right. Consumer Reports has a car buying report that can help you at least know what they should be charging. Thank you, Ms. Rogers. So we want to make sure that we're careful with these long-term loans that are out here that are going way past the warranty and way past the value of that car, and you've got a $10,000 loan still on the car 5 years from the date of purchase, and the car is only worth $5,000. Something happens to the car, which I had one person that emailed me, and the young man was talking about how his car got totaled and the car wasn't worth as much as he owed on the car because of being a victim, not understanding the situation, so, there's no power in this. What we're doing now in this discussion is turning this discrimination report into power, because I thank God for the member in Vegas Mobile Dental Labs who's turned me on to this report, because we got to realize that, okay, they do us wrong. We can't, hide. We have to first allow somebody to do you wrong. You have to first, like I said, when they came in there with me with that crap about this is what the money factor is and this is what this is, then, and I went out and I checked that crap and pulled the deal. So you have to be willing to not get emotionally attached to that purchase, but be all about the numbers. And then just say, Afroeconomics with J.B. Bryant said, be all about the numbers. I don't care. You ain't the only one on this planet with a Toyota. They're selling them everywhere. Either you want to get it off your lot or you don't, but you're not going to get your money off me. You're not going to dog me out. Now, everybody is in business to make money, but you're not going to dog me out by charging me too much at too high an interest rate when I know my financial situation. Now, understanding if your financial situation is jacked up, there's certain things that you got to deal with. But more often than not, our financial situation is much better than you think it is, but you haven't even looked at your credit score. So you're going in there and we're settling for these situations. The report shows that. The research shows that. Strong credit and accepting unnecessarily high interest rates. So, and finally, ask about anything, any fine print that they're not sharing with you. Ask everything. Ask about if there's a penalty if I pay off my loan early. If there's a fee for paying it off early. If there's, anything that I need to know. Be careful about buying all of these extra insurances that they sell when you buy the car. Make sure that you have proper insurance protection. For example, if they say, if you get disabled, this will pay off your car payment. You need to have disability that will pay for all your bills, not a disability that will only pay for your car if you became disabled and you may not be able to drive. So here, all you are is protecting them, so they still get their car payment made when you could have just sold the car because something happened and you don't need it anymore. So be very careful with what you purchase and have a backup. Consider becoming a member of Afro Economics for comprehensive financial planning for a team that is committed to your financial success. You know, that you can do that. We can do that. I'm here to serve you. So my email is jb@afroeconomics.com, jb@jbbryan.com, 1-844-JB-Bryan. Make sure that you, someone who registered today, you are going to win the Black History Brunch ticket, a free ticket to our new office at 10 Times Square, 1441 Broadway in New York. We're having our brunch for Black History Month. So I'm going to give away free tickets. Now, members know you get in free, and your guests are at a discount. But this is for absolutely free tickets for non-members that are on here today. And if I can see you, I will tell you who is going to, oh, I'm not, yeah. So I see the Banks House, but I know you are a member. And then, so also I see the, I don't know who also have the Samsung, and then we have a Walton, and I'm gonna have to figure this out on my own, how I'm gonna get it to you. When I send, you are going to, so I'm gonna, all right. Ms. Johnson, thank you y'all for being so reactive. Thank you, hold your hand up. Tamara, all right, okay, all right. And your husband. Good. Well, those are my two. And I got you. I hope that you're close to New York and we'll take care of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you for your, so we have, oh, great. And I will send you the report. I'll send you the report to your email to everyone that registered. And Ms. Johnson, I will make sure that you get your tickets to the Black History Month and celebration of the opening of the Afro Economics with J.B. Bryan office in Midtown Manhattan in New York. So God bless y'all. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening. I hope that if you have any other questions, just email me and I'm going to let you go. Enjoy your day. Take care.